guys, JJ here, and it looks like we have some new details on the upcoming Resident Evil Veronica remake that gives us a better idea of where the game may currently be in development, including a possible release window, motorcycle traversal, and details about a semi-open structure. So with that being said, let's get right into it. With the official reveal of Resident Evil Veronica at Summer Game Fest and Capcom set to attend Gamescom in August, many fans are excited to see what new information could be revealed about the upcoming remake. While we wait for official news from Capcom, known Resident Evil insider Dusk Golem, also known as Aesthetic Gamer, has been very vocal about the inner development of the upcoming remake. It should be said that Dusk has leaked real Resident Evil information in the past, but as always with leaks and rumors, treat this information as unconfirmed until you hear it officially from Capcom. With that being said, if anything you are about to hear is true, then possible gameplay leaks may be ahead. Consider this your warning. In a recent post on X, Dusk further clarified the development of the upcoming Veronica remake, along with a possible release window. Here's a breakdown of Dusk's recent post. He says, the release date depends on how the next half of the year of work goes. If development goes well, Capcom could release it in Q1 of 2027. If the team needs more polish time, it could move to Q2 of 2027. The only way it'll move to Q3 is if they have a major problem. Based on Capcom's recent shareholders meeting, it looks like they're planning on releasing Veronica Q1 of 2027. So based on what Dusk is saying, it sounds like Capcom may be targeting early 2027, but they are still giving the team room to polish the game if needed. Dusk says the Code Veronica remake was ahead of schedule, but there were still things Capcom wanted to rework. Honestly, this is actually really good to hear. It sounds like Capcom may not be rushing it out just because they can. Instead, they may be using that extra time to improve areas that still need more work. And I think most of us would rather they take the time they need to do it right. They only have one chance at this remake, and I'm sure we all want to avoid a similar situation as Resident Evil 3 remake. Now, let's move into the semi-open world comment Dusk made. I should clarify something right away. Semi-open world does not mean open world Resident Evil. It likely means larger, interconnected areas, more flexible progression, and more freedom in how certain sections are tackled. Think of Chapter 4 in the Resident Evil 4 remake. You could freely explore the lake and surrounding areas to collect treasures, complete optional objectives, or simply continue progressing through the story. I personally think this makes a lot of sense. You are on an island and you go to Antarctica. There are very large locations in Veronica, and a small, semi-open layout fits. Dusk says players may be able to do several parts of the game in a different order. This could mean optional routes, different ways to explore Rockfort Island, more backtracking choices, puzzle order flexibility, and potentially more replay value. This probably doesn't mean the story can be played completely out of order. It may just mean certain areas or objectives have more flexibility, which I personally appreciate. As I said before, adding multiple ways to play through the game can add more replay value, and replayability is something the Resident Evil series is known for. Next up, we have motorcycle traversal, which is one of the most interesting parts of this update. Dusk says motorcycle traversal is still in the game. This could mean Claire has the ability to ride through parts of Rockfort Island, giving players faster movement between larger areas, possible set-piece moments, or maybe even a new way to explore certain locations. We saw something similar with Leon's motorcycle section in Resident Evil Requiem, and that could have been Capcom testing the waters for this kind of mechanic. If this is true, I hope it's a gameplay mechanic the player actually has control over, and not just a linear scripted section like it was in Requiem. I think the biggest question is whether this fits survival horror or becomes too action heavy. If done carefully, this could make Veronica feel very distinct from the 2, 3, and 4 remakes. Capcom also stated that this game is going to be grounded in survival horror, so I don't think they're going to go over the top like they did in Requiem. While I love Days Gone, I don't think Resident Evil needs to become that style of game, so I'd prefer the motorcycle traversal to be limited and purposeful, maybe more similar to the boat section in the Resident Evil 4 remake. What do you guys think? Dusk also says there is side stuff to do. That could mean optional objectives, collectibles, side missions, extra puzzles, hidden areas, weapon upgrades, and other rewards for exploration. At first glance, that may sound like it contradicts the idea of this game being more grounded in survival horror, similar to the Resident Evil 2 remake, but it could still work, especially since Veronica has always felt like Claire's larger, more ambitious adventure in the series. In that sense, some parallels to the Resident Evil 4 remake could fit if handled properly. It all depends on the execution. If Dusk's information is accurate, this sounds like a good sign. Capcom may be aiming for early 2027, but they are still polishing and reworking the game instead of rushing it out. The semi-open structure and motorcycle traversal could make Veronica feel very different from previous remakes, but until Capcom shows actual gameplay, we should stay cautiously optimistic. Either way, I am excited. I can't wait for Veronica to finally get the attention and respect it deserves. Seeing Claire and Chris reunite, the return of Albert Wesker, and Rockfort Island recreated in the RE engine could be an incredible experience. And of course, I'll be sure to keep you guys posted on all the latest news, leaks, and rumors. But now, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Are you excited for the Veronica remake? What do you think about the semi-open structure? Are you looking forward to motorcycle traversal? And what are you most excited to see in the remake? Let me know down below in the comments, and let's have a discussion about it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and for all the latest Veronica remake news, leaks, and rumors, make sure to subscribe. The Residents of Evil is a Patreon-supported channel and also supported by our YouTube members. So if you'd like to become a member and unlock access to custom badges, emojis, and exclusive live streams, click that join button down below. You can join our survival horror community on Discord, link will be in the description, and I have the Duke here to tell you a little about our sponsor, G Fuel.
Do you have need of anything for the road ahead? The Residents of Evil has expanded its services. Perhaps you're in need of a little pick-me-up. I recommend the G Fuel. You can even get a fair discount if you use the code ROE upon purchase. And as always, we thank you for your patronage, stranger.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.